everyone, Arnaldo Hoffman of Master School Dances, doing the mini series of light shootouts. So lots of videos are going to be coming shortly as soon as you see this video pop up. First of all, I would like to give a huge thank you to Rebecca and the staff here at the Hilton Garden Inn for letting us use their ballroom, because it's big enough that we can kind of show you differences between the lights and such. First two lights that we're going to compare today are the Inno ColorBeam LED and the Inno ColorBeam 12, the little smaller version. Again, you can kind of see them side by side. This one is definitely a little bit bigger. Casing is different, of course. You've got the handles here, no handles there. You can hang them, you can suspend them, you can lay them flat, whichever. You've already seen the reviews. If not, click the links above so you can see the reviews between each individual light. But those are primarily the big differences between them. As far as what these actually do in terms of speed, let's go ahead and cut the lights out or the lights out of these for a second. Same program again. Let's make sure they're on the same. There we go. So again, you can see the movements are relatively the same, slightly different, but they both go insanely fast. Of course, the smaller one would go a little bit faster because it's got the smaller head. As far as brightness, if I hit you with them, they are bright. But we're going to go ahead and compare both of them so you can see a little bit of a difference. You will see that, of course, it's got a much wider ring. But in terms of throw, this one is substantially brighter, but it seems that the size, the degree is still the same. So your shows will not look different in terms of what it's going to be hit. Not too different anyways. With fog and haze, this beam, of course, does look wider, but the end result to me is what's important, especially when you're looking at a color for a color wash or a color flood type effect. This is great because now I can use the bigger Innos to actually move around the dance floor, and I know that a couple of the small ones will be able to will be pointed at a disco ball and will easily flood the entire thing with no issue. Okay, so now let's go ahead and cut this one off for a second. We're going to go ahead and do both of them at the same time. So again, you can see what it's looking like. Okay, we just have a very, all of them are on pretty much. The blues, reds, greens, the white LEDs, everything is on. And again, there is a little bit of a difference that you can see there. Yeah, that's about as close as it gets. And it is kind of hard to gauge, because it is on the camera, but Monica's done a really good job of making the camera look about as close to real life as possible. It is kind of hard to tell because it is slightly overexposed because of how bright they are, but the colors are a little bit richer on the bigger Inno. Not something that your clients would notice. Again, greens, your blues, very rich colors on both of them. The blues are very rich, and it doesn't, it looks kind of purplish on the camera. That's because Canon sucks sometimes. What I am noticing, and the big difference is that the bigger one, it's definitely more saturated. You can definitely tell that it's brighter as compared to the 12 that is not as bright. Also, the bigger brother does look to be a little bit more focused. Actually, yeah, really focused compared to the 12. It almost seems to be a little bit feathered around the edges, if that makes sense. And it's kind of hard to tell on the camera. That, unfortunately, there's nothing you can do about that. But reds, let's go to the reds, which are really important there. That's more like candy apple red, let's see. There we go. Again, the LEDs are identical, and that's because they are using the Cree LEDs. One of the nice things about Cree is that they're very consistent. When you're buying, different LED fixtures, a lot of times the colors will be different. This isn't the case. The gold color, considering that there is no amber and it's just red and green, we're getting a very nice gold color. A couple hints of yellow, but it's not too bad. Of course, you can just, do it within seconds. I'm only doing this with the color wheel, so I haven't had a chance to really perfect things. But again, you'll notice it's a very smooth color fade from one to the other. Okay, so in conclusion, what do you use these for? Honestly, if you don't have the budget for the big brother, or even the newer one that's coming out, this is perfect. You're still going to get nice, vivid colors. It's fast, it's bright, real nice, tight, beam pattern. But again, I'm actually considering taking an LSF, kind of velcroing it on top, so I can even use it as a flood type light. But this is great. This one here, of course, gives you a few more pro features. Again, you do have your power linking, which is important. It's got the neat little handles on top. It is a little bit, brighter, of course, because it's got way more LEDs, in case you can't tell side by side. But here's where the important thing is. If you're doing staging productions, where you have your lights on the stage, and you have somebody accidentally bump into the Inno. Well, this one here, I'm not sure what happens, but let's say, for example, you have them still because you have them hitting a certain person. Somebody accidentally bumps into it. Well, that's going to stay like that. This one, if somebody bumps into it, it's going to go right back. So it's not going to mess up your programming. Otherwise, you have to reset the actual fixtures through DMX. But again, that's the Inno ColorBeam LED and the Inno ColorBeam LED 12. My name's Ronaldo Off from Master School Dances. That's been part 1 of our live shootout. Remember, your school dance business shouldn't suck. So make sure to check out the website, subscribe to the videos, lots more coming. Thank you, and God bless.